Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. A very warm welcome to each and every one of you to Tally Presents Mera Business Meri Pehchaan, partnered by ET Now in association with yours truly, Rajiv Talreja, where we've created this series of master classes, especially to enable, empower, and equip micro, small, and medium enterprises build scalable, profitable businesses. So if you can hear me and see me, then please type out yes in the chat box. If you can hear me and see me, then please type out yes in the chat box. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Kumaran, Naresh, Arvind, Parimal, Sanket, Ram, Vijay, Hiren, Hasmukh, Deepak. The chat box is bustling. Nisha, thank you. Thank you. A very warm welcome to all of you. And thank you so much for being here on time. Because today we are going to have a very, very important conversation that is relevant to all our businesses. Today we are going to talk about the topic of dealing with competition. So how many of you are excited about learning how do you deal with your competition? If you're excited about it, type out excited in the chat box. Type out excited in the chat box. I'm excited too because we've got 7 very, very powerful ways to share with you on how you can use any of these ways to deal with your competition. Awesome. Thank you so much. So while this is our topic for today, which is dealing with competition, we all understand that we are living in an environment where competition is constantly increasing. And competition, when it keeps increasing, obviously, then our ability to get the price that we deserve, our ability to get the payment terms that we deserve gets compromised. We lose bargaining power when competition increases. How many of you have experienced that? If you've experienced that, type out true in the chat box. Awesome. But our objective for today is to help you understand how do you build a business which is competitive at the same time it can be profitable. If you would love to learn this, type out love it in the chat box, because this is the ideal situation to be able to deal with your competition and still be profitable, still make good amount of money on every project, every product, every service that you deliver. So that's what our focus is going to be on in today's session. And to help you build a business which is competitive and profitable, I'm going to break down for you the topics for today so you understand how will we achieve our objective. Firstly, we'll start by having a common definition of what is competition so that our understanding and comprehension of this word is similar. Once we understand what is competition, let's dive into understanding why competition in business is actually great. What are the benefits of having competition? And then from there, I will break down for you when does competition actually bother you? When does it start affecting you? When does it get to your nerves? So we're going to even understand that. And then from there, I'm going to share with you 7 strategies, 7 different ways of dealing with competition. And as you get your solutions through these 7 ways of dealing with competition, then we'll go into a question answer session towards the end. And we will be happy to support you and serve you in any which way that we can. So this is the lineup of the topics in today's session. If you think this will be a useful time for you to invest in your learning, type out useful in the chat box to learn what is competition, when is competition great, when does it bother you, and what are the 7 ways of dealing with competition. Type out useful in the chat box if you think this will be effective. I love those of you who are typing out in the chat box because you're participating, you're engaging. So that's what we are going to be covering today. Now, before we begin, I want to make sure that we lay out some ground rules so all of us have a seamless learning experience. My request to all of you is firstly to make sure you have a notebook and a pen ready with you and make sure you make a lot of notes. We don't share the recording of this training. We expect our participants to participate actively, complete the entire masterclass, make a lot of notes. That's when you can internalize the learning. So make sure you have the notes, make sure you have a notebook and a pen ready with you and you're making a lot of notes. Next, make sure you participate fully. Okay, make sure you participate fully because at the end of the day, higher your participation, higher your learning. Okay, higher the participation, higher the learning. And then also request all of you to finish what you start. Remember this. The results happen when you finish something. If you agree, type out agree in the chat box. If you agree, type out agree in the chat box. Awesome. So make sure you finish what you start. And through the journey of this masterclass, I'm sure you'll have a lot of questions. My request to all of you is this. Whenever a question pops up in your mind, write it in your notebook so you don't forget it. We will do a question answer session towards the end of the masterclass where we will be happy to answer any of your questions. So keep your questions in your notebooks and put it out in the chat box when we open the forum towards the end for a question answer session. And lastly, keep your energy high, keep your engagement high, keep the interaction high on the chat box, because at the end of the day, that's where we exchange our energy. Keep that smile on your face and we will have an amazing learning experience. So with that, if your energy is high and you're willing to engage in the chat box with high energy, type out high in the chat box. Type out high in the chat box, everybody. Awesome. So ladies and gentlemen, those are the ground rules. Let's get started with today's masterclass on how do you deal with competition. And before we dive into the topic, I'd love to know a little bit more about your business. So type out for me in the chat box, what business are you building? So we understand the diversity of the businesses here in the room today. Type out for me, what business are you building in the chat box? Sandeep's into IT services, Pratap's into manufacturing, Dushyant into telematics and IoT, Venkateshwara into digitalization, Nageshwar in trading of chemicals, Anil in legal services, Kamal in FMCG, Arvindan is an authorized dealer of Texmo motor pumps, Prashant in the fashion industry, Jinesh in textile application, Vijay is a MF distribution business, Hasmukh in manufacturing, Unmesh is a practicing chartered accountant, Hiren is an exporter of submersible motors, Pankaj in retail, Parimal in IT products and services, Darshan in printing, Mayur in sales and application, Vinay in projects business, Rajwinder in ITES. Okay, I may not read out all your names, but I'm just going through the chat box to see the diversity of the businesses in the room. So we have people from manufacturing springs, manufacturing, agricultural business, franchise business, social media marketing, electric trading, food processing, IT services, manufacturing of pharma product, safety and security systems integration, medical device, energy, brand design and F&B for FMBs, engineering, manufacturing sector of capacitors, local e-commerce supplier for FMCG, chemicals, pharma, textile, photo tours, industrial construction, intermediate synthesis and chemistry, growing NBFC, film industry networking app. Wonderful, wonderful. I love the diversity of the group. Pharma sector, clay, brick and tiles manufacturing, coal business, tourism business. A very warm welcome to all of you. A very warm welcome to all of you. And I promise you this, the more the diversity of the group, the more richer the learning. So we are really looking forward to this masterclass with everybody. Before we begin and go further, for how many of you, this is your first interaction with me? Like this is the first time you are attending a masterclass or any kind of training program or webinar with me. If it's your first time, type out first in the chat box. And if you already know me, type out know you in the chat box. If it's your first time, type out first in the chat box. And if you already know, okay, Vijay's second time. Okay, quite a few first timers. Juzair knows me. Okay, wonderful, Juzair. Nice to see you here. Okay. Quite a few of you are first time. Some of you, Darshan says, Parimal says know you. Jinesh says know you. Awesome. So for everybody who knows me, thank you so much for placing your trust and coming back again. For those of you for whom it is your first session ever with me or your first interaction with me, thank you so much for choosing to invest your time with me. Now, before I begin, is it okay for the benefit of those who are attending my session for the first time, I give a quick background about who I am and where I come from? Is that okay for those of you for whom this is your first session with me? Can I give you a quick background about myself? Yes. If yes, type out yes in the chat box. Okay, wonderful. So firstly, my name is Rajiv Talreja, born and brought up in this lovely city called Bangalore. I've been an entrepreneur for 16 years now. And as an entrepreneur over the last 16 years, these are my 6 businesses that I'm building today. My first venture was Quantum Leap Learning Solutions Private Limited, which I set up in the year 2006. And today, Quantum Leap is one of Asia's largest business coaching companies, where we work one-to-one with entrepreneurs for a period of 1 year, where we assign a coach and we handhold them to build strategies and systems to scale their business. So that's Quantum Leap. My second venture was Dreamcraft Events and Entertainment, which I started with my lovely wife, Bhakti. And we've been in the space of corporate events where we do conferences, dealer distributor meetings, product launch events, award ceremonies for large corporate brands. My third venture was Dreamcatcher Investments, which I set up in 2017 with a vision to invest in startups that have the potential to scale. And back in 2017, I invested in a logistics company, which was a 20-member team with a 20 lakh per annum turnover. In 4 years, we scaled it from a 20-member team to a 2,000-member team, from a 20 lakh per annum turnover to a 55 crore per annum turnover. and I exited that logistics company by selling it out to a larger logistics player in 2021. My fourth investment was in a sports team called Karnataka Warriors in 2018. Down south in India, we have 4 film industries: Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam. And the film stars of these 4 film industries compete in a badminton tournament every year called the Celebrity Badminton League. And I own the Kannada film celebrity team that competes in the Celebrity Badminton League. And about 8 to 9 months back, I created a problem statement. There was a problem statement that was buzzing in my head again and again. And the problem statement was that most small and medium business owners either have to rely on social media ads to generate leads, or they have to rely on joining referral networking organizations and spend a lot of time in generating leads. So the problem statement was, how can we help small and medium business owners not depend on social media ads to generate leads, and not depend on referral networking organizations where they have to spend so much of their time to generate leads? So this solving of this problem statement led to a startup that I've created called Connects.community, which is an artificial intelligence driven platform where we help small and medium business owners generate leads without depending on social media and without depending on referral networking organizations. So Connects.community is a startup that I'm building right now. And about 4 months ago, I joined an e-commerce startup by the name Zoozle as the director for strategy and business, because the philosophy of Zoozle was to create a e-commerce platform which is fair to the product sellers. Most e-commerce platforms are just biased towards the customer. We wanted to create a e-commerce platform which is fair to the product sellers. So these are the 6 businesses that I'm building at this point of time. We create direct employment for more than 2,000 people across these businesses. So that's my background, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're comfortable in taking this learning journey with me in a manner where I'm not talking to you like a trainer or a coach, but I'm having a conversation with you from one entrepreneur to another entrepreneur. If you're comfortable with that, type out yes in the chat box. So with that said, let's dive into today's masterclass on dealing with competition. And let's firstly start by understanding what is competition. So here is my understanding of what is competition. Competition is rivalry where 2 or more businesses strive for a common goal that cannot be shared, where one's gain can become another's loss. How many of you think that's a fair understanding of the word competition? Especially in business, where you are in this battle for one common goal. It could be market share, it could be specific customer accounts, okay, and that cannot be shared, and where one's gain is another's loss. If you agreed, I would agree. Ishrat will be happy to give you the link a little later. Let's focus on the masterclass. It's Connects.community. So keeping this understanding of competition where we have conflicting interests with our competition, what I'd like to really break down is, firstly, let's understand, why is competition great? Why is competition great? Okay. So competition is good in business for a couple of reasons. First reason is, how many of you agree, competition does not allow you to become complacent. It always keeps you outside your comfort zone and makes you innovative and proactive. If you agree, type out agree in the chat box. If you didn't have competition, most of you would be just too comfortable in your comfort zone. You would just be so complacent, right? So it doesn't let you be complacent. It pushes you. It pushes you to innovate. It pushes you to be proactive. It pushes you to take responsibility. So that's why, one reason why competition is great. Another reason why competition is great is because, think about it. If there are more than 2 players in a space providing similar products or services, it validates the product or service. It validates the need for that product or service. It validates and tells you that there is a market, that there's a massive market for that product or service. So how many of you also agree that competition is product validation and market validation? That you are in a business where you are offering something which is of value to people, for which people are willing to spend their money. And you are in a business where there is a marketplace available, where there is an ample base of customers who are interested in investing their money in that product or service. So competition is great for market validation as well as product validation. So keeping this understanding that competition does not allow you to be complacent, keeps you proactive, makes you innovative, validates your product, validates the market. What we want to today focus on is this. What we want to focus on is you don't have to beat competition. You can coexist. The truth be told, there is enough business for everybody. There is enough business for everybody. That's the truth. Okay. So you can coexist with competition. Now, I know when I say this, you don't like it because you're like, Rajiv, I came into this masterclass with absolute aggression, wanting to destroy my competition. And now you're asking me to wave the white flag and be peaceful with my competition. Well, yes, that's what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to do what's required for you to do. And I'm going to share with you what are the things that you need to do to deal with competition. But you need to know one thing, there's enough business for everyone. You don't have to beat it. You can coexist. Now, if I'm saying this right at the beginning of the masterclass, then let's answer the question, why does competition even bother you? Or when does competition bother you? Now, here's my promise. For some of you, this one slide will be a massive shift in your perspective. It will change the way you look at yourself, the way you look at your business, and the way you look at your competition. So before I break down the points, are you willing to be open today? Because I'm going to help you break through without really beating your competition. Okay. Yes. Will you be open? So consider this. Here are 3 circumstances when your competition actually bothers you. And when I say bothers you, it mentally takes up your mind space saying, yaar, look at that guy, wo kya kar raha hai, ye kya kar raha hai, what are they doing, what is he doing, what is she doing? It mentally bothers you. It emotionally drains your energy. Sometimes it frustrates you and angers you saying, look at them, they're killing the market, they're offering such a low price to the customer. So when does it actually bother you mentally and emotionally? Here's the first circumstance. When you are not marketing and selling proactively, that's when your competition bothers you. Let me explain this. Think about it. If as a business, you are just depending on word of mouth referrals, and you don't have a clear marketing strategy and a selling system where you are taking initiative on a consistent basis to reach out to target customers, grab their attention, nurture them, and sell to them. If you are not taking proactive action in marketing and selling, and you're just reactive and waiting for business to come to you, that's when competition bothers you, because by the time the customer searches for you, finds you, and comes to you, somebody else has marketed to them and taken them away. So how many of you agree? When we are not marketing and selling, that's when we are affected by competition around us. If you agree, I would agree. Because think about it. If you're marketing consistently, if you're selling consistently, you have a pipeline of leads consistently. If you have a pipeline of leads consistently, 1 or 2 customers go here and there, it won't affect you. Yes or no? If you have a consistent, healthy pipeline of leads, 1 or 2 customers going here and there won't bother you at all. You will be like, tu nahi to aur sahi, aur nahi to aur sahi. So ladies and gentlemen, it is our lack of action and proactiveness in marketing and selling that makes us weak as a business and makes us be worried about competition all the time. That's the first circumstance, when you're not marketing and selling proactively. For how many of you, this was a light bulb moment? If this was a light bulb moment, go like light bulb in the chat box. Type light bulb in the chat box. You're like, yeah, actually, I am not marketing. I'm not selling. And I'm busy sitting and peeping into my competitor and saying, look at what they are doing. Look at what they are doing. Right? So this is one reason why competition bothers you. Here's another reason, another big one. Watch this. Competition also bothers you when your business is running only on your existing customers. Now, this point is kind of related to the previous point. Think about it. If your business is only dependent on your existing clients and you have a fixed set of existing clients, now if a competitor comes from outside and starts flirting with your existing client and says, come to us, we'll give you a better price. Come to us, we have the latest equipment. Come to us, we have these benefits. Now, when your business is only running on your existing client and you don't market and sell yourself consistently and keep adding new clients, automatically you become vulnerable to competition. That's when competition pisses you off the most, because that's when you feel, Mera customer leke gaya. This person's taken my customer and gone. Now, let me ask you a question. Let's connect the first point and the second point. If you are marketing and selling consistently, and you have a healthy pipeline of leads or projects consistently, and you're closing deals consistently, one or two customers go to the competitor, will it emotionally bother you? No, it won't. It won't even be in your awareness, because you're busy with growth. When you're busy with growth, you don't cry about these survival problems. But if you're not being proactive, not taking initiative, just depending on your existing customers, not marketing and selling consistently and saying how much of a business we have from our existing customers is good enough for us, then you are making yourself more vulnerable to competition. And that's when competition starts bothering you. For how many of you, this was a big point of view or a very different perspective to start viewing your own business from, and saying, hey, you know what? We just can't depend on our existing customers and be complacent with our existing customers. We got to be proactive and constantly adding new customers, so that even if one or two customers go to a competitor, it should not affect our business. If this was a big one, type out big one in the chat box. And just to add to this point here, a lot of business owners, or some business owners, have a fear of hiring people and building teams, because their thought process is, Rajiv, if I hire people and I build teams, I train them, I teach them everything, I pay them a salary, after a few years, they quit the job, they go start their own business, they become my competitor, they take my customer and go away. Can I tell you something? Watch this. What you need to understand is this. If you are marketing and selling consistently and your business is constantly growing, even if a team member leaves and they take one or two customers along with them, it won't bother you. It won't bother you. How many of you agree? See, that's where I always tell people, ask yourself, are you building a survival business or are you building a growth business? In a survival business, you're not marketing, you're not selling, you're just depending on your existing customers, and you are weak and vulnerable. But when you're building a growth business, you're marketing and selling consistently, you're adding new customers consistently. One or two customers go to a competitor, one or two team members quit and they start their own business and take one or two customers. It won't affect you at all. Most people don't hire with the fear that if I hire, my team member will learn and become my competitor. Today, I'm opening your minds and telling you, guess what? If you're not hiring and you're playing the survival game where you're doing everything by yourself, that's way more dangerous. That's way more riskier. These are two reasons so far. Let me give you the third reason why your competition bothers you. The third reason when your competitor bothers you is when you're not achieving your own business goals. How many of you have noticed this? When we don't make money, we start becoming more curious about what are they doing? What is he doing? What is she doing? Unke dukaan mein kitne ja rahe hain? Right? See, it's like peeping into your neighbor's house when you have family problems in your own house. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. If you are achieving your own goals, you are happy. You don't care about what's happening outside in the world. You don't care. Think about it. How many of you have had that experience where you are achieving your goals, you're making money, you don't care about what's happening in the world, right? But when you're not happy in your own space, when you're not achieving your own goals because of your own inefficiencies, that's when you become curious. वो क्या कर रहा है? वो क्या कर रहा है? Oh, वो गया उसका. Oh, then you become like a TV serial actor, because your brain starts working only in dramebaz mindset. Ladies and gentlemen, consider this. The summary of these 3 points is this. When you do what you're supposed to do, then competition as a concept does not affect you financially and emotionally. How many of you realize that today? When you do what you're supposed to do, then competition as a concept does not affect you financially and emotionally, right? So before I teach you how to deal with competition, I'm actually telling you one thing. खुद का घर संभालो, दुनिया संभल जाएगी. Take care of your business, the world will take care of itself. I had an interesting conversation once with an edible oil manufacturer from Kolkata. He said, Rajiv, we are building our own homegrown brand. हमारा खुद का brand है. We are into edible oil manufacturing. And right now, Rajiv, we are doing a turnover of 5 crores per annum. Can you tell me how should we deal with competition from big brands like Fortune Oil, from big brands like ITC and all their products? You know what was my response to him? I said, they are not even your competition. You grow from 5 crores to 50 crores, 50 crores to 500 crores, 500 crores above, then they'll start noticing you. Till then, don't have sleepless nights thinking, oh, we are in a very competitive space and there are big players over there. Those big players don't even bother. And think about it, as a business owner, I've seen business owners who are like, Rajiv, from 5 crores, I grow to 50 crores. 50 crores, I'm happy. I'm happy in my space. I'm happy in my world. And I'm happy to consolidate from there one step at a time and build a strong foundational business. So, ladies and gentlemen, competition is a notion that affects us due to our inaction, our incapability, and our lack of clarity. How many of you realize that today? It's a notion that affects us due to our inaction or our incapability or our lack of clarity. So having said that, what I want to do today is I still want to equip you with 7 different ways of dealing with competition. So you can write this heading down: ways to deal with competition. I'm going to share with you 7 different strategies you can use in your business to deal with competition. So let's break it down, everybody. The first strategy that you could use to deal with competition is to alter your customer focus. So write down strategy number 1, alter customer focus. And next to that, you can write B2C, B2B, B2CH. Write that down. B2B, B2C, B2CH. Alter customer focus. And I'll give you a couple of examples so it's easier for you to understand. Once you're done writing this, type out done in the chat box so I can elaborate on some examples. Awesome. Let me break this down for all of you. So I'll give you a couple of examples. One example was from one of my own businesses. Back in 2007, when my wife Bhakti and I set up Dreamcraft Events as a corporate event management company, we were one of the only few early event managers in Bangalore. Okay. 2007, there were not that many event managers in the city of Bangalore. Now, what started happening was this. We used to do corporate events. We used to do conferences, product launch events, dealer distributor meetings from 2007 onwards. And by about 2014, 2015, we started seeing a trend. In every street, there were 5 event managers whose office was there. In the street where we have our office, we have 5 event managers whose office was there. Everybody was becoming an event manager. Now, competition was increasing. When competition increases, as a business, your bargaining power with the customer reduces, because today customer has multiple options. With multiple options comes over information. With over information comes over smartness, sometimes from the customer's point of view. So what we started noticing now, the customer's tone started changing. They would take ideas from us, but they would get it executed with someone who's given the lowest quote. So there was no respect for design or IP or concept or ideation. We started noticing customers started asking for a longer credit period, saying first we used to get payments in 7 days after the event. Then they made it 30 days. Then they made it 60 days. Then they made it 90 days. And this was due to competition. Because if you go to a corporate client and say, hey, listen, we want our payment in 30 days, then the corporate client's thought process was, why do we need to work with you if you want payment in 30 days? We are getting credit period from other competitors of yours who are event managers was 60 days and 90 days. So what we started realizing was we were in the B2B space doing corporate events. And we realized that because of increase in competition, our bargaining power was reducing. So to counter the effect and impact of competition on our business, here's what we did. From 2017 onwards, we launched a B2C vertical where we started doing ticketed events, our own music shows, our own knowledge summits and seminars and conferences, our own award ceremonies, where we started creating B2C events where a customer had to buy a ticket even before they enter that event. So we didn't have to deal with the B2B clients' challenges of longer credit terms thanks to the growing competition. So what we did was we counterattacked the force of competition by building our own events where we were in control, where we were demanding the terms that we wanted to work in. So sometimes shifting your customer focus. If you're a B2B business, explore, can you do a B2C business, direct to consumer? Or can you build a channel business where you're appointing dealers, distributors, channel partners? Sometimes altering your customer focus helps you in dealing with the stress competition can create for your business. If any of you got any ideas here, or you started thinking of any ideas right now, as I'm giving you this perspective of widening your customer focus, type out idea in the chat box. Type out idea in the chat box, just for me to get a sense. If you got any idea or any thought process triggered in your head. Mayank says idea. Ajinkya says idea. Vinay says idea. Wonderful. Okay, Rani. Okay, Anil, Venkateshwara, Juzair, Jinesh, Om Prakash, Yash, Vijay. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So what I need all of you to understand is this. Do I still do B2B events? Yes. We still run B2B events. We still do events for large corporate organizations. But the growing competition in that space of event managers is no longer troubling us, because we've innovated and created our own events where we can control how it should work. So from B2B, we've explored B2C. Now I'll give you another example. I'll give you another example to kind of tease you with more thought processes and ideas. One of my clients, Dr. Dhananjay, he's a physiotherapist, and he had his own clinic called Spectrum Physio. He had one clinic called Spectrum Physio. Now, as a doctor, you have a clinic. Your customer focus is B2C because you're working with patients directly. Now, for any doctor, when more clinics open in their locality, in and around their clinic, is that competition? Yes or no? When more clinics come up in a particular locality, is that competition? Is the customer getting divided? Does the customer have more options? Yes. So Dr. Dhananjay had one clinic, and what he started noticing was, after 15 years of having the clinic, more and more clinics started sprouting up in the locality, in the location where he had his clinic. Now he's in a B2C space. First counteraction strategy was, okay, let us do more marketing. Let us put flyers in the local newspaper so that people see and remember that our clinic Spectrum Physio exists over here. So he first started reacting to the competition. He started launching, celebrating Physiotherapy Week. Sign up for a 3-month physiotherapy treatment program during the physiotherapy week and get a discount of this much. So he started becoming proactive to counter the competition. But then here's what happens. Sometimes when you go into this battle with competition, you spoil the market more and only the customer benefits. Yes or no? How many of you have noticed that? If it becomes a price battle, the only person to win is the customer. The business owners, the service providers, they end up pulling each other down like a bunch of crabs. One crab is trying to climb the wall, the other crab will pull him down. Another one climbs the wall, another pull him down. The only one who's winning is the customer in this process. And the standards and the benchmark of that industry are just going down, 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 and down. So here's what Dr. Dhananjay came up with. Okay, so we worked with Dr. Dhananjay on an alternate strategy. We said the best way to beat competition is to not play the game that the competitor is playing. He said, what do you mean by that? We said, look, doctor, today you have your clinic in this location, okay? And you have multiple other physiotherapists setting up their clinic in and around 2-3 kilometer radius, pretty much having the same catchment. Let's not play the game of beating the competition. Let's change the game. He said, how do I change the game? Dr. Dhananjay from B to C started targeting B to B. Okay. Now you must be wondering, what can a physiotherapist do in B2B? Well, many things. He first started with ergonomics awareness trainings in a lot of large corporate organizations where their employees used to sit for 10 to 12 hours a day working on their laptops and desktops. And because of that lifestyle, that sedentary lifestyle of sitting and working for 8 to 10 hours a day, they would develop back problem, neck problem, spondylitis, knee problem, shoulder problem, all these kind of problems. So what Dr. Dhananjay did was he started targeting corporates, and he said, level 1, we'll do ergonomics awareness training programs for you, where we will come in and we will train your team members in a 2-hour workshop where we'll teach them how to do stretches, how to do exercises, how to do movements during the work time itself so that they don't erode their body by sitting in one place. So he started targeting B2B. Second, here's what he did. Okay. Now, some of these companies said, hey, apart from awareness, we want you to do physiotherapy sessions for our employees. So say, for example, an IT company called him and said, we want you to do a set of 3 physiotherapy sessions per employee. We have 3,000 employees. 3,000 employees into 3 sessions per employee is 9,000 sessions. 9,000 sessions. Do you think he ever has to open a clinic in his life? He doesn't. Okay. But he didn't sit and do those 9,000 sessions. He onboarded about 150 physiotherapists and he executed that project under his brand name. But do you see his scale, his volume grew? Yes or no? So from B to C, he's playing B to B. Now, while that other physiotherapist whose clinic is newly opened close to Dr. Dhananjay's clinic is looking at how many footfall today, how many walk-in patients today, how many more corporate organizations are we onboarding, how many thousands of employees are we selling a physiotherapy treatment package to. Game changed from B to C to B to B. It doesn't stop at that. Dr. Dhananjay went on to change the game further. From B to B, we started focusing on B to C H. Now, what is B to C H? B to C H is business to channel. Now, you must be wondering, how can a doctor create a channel partner network? Here's what we started doing. We started helping Dr. Dhananjay get franchise partners who would open clinics under the brand name of Spectrum Physio. Today, if you go on Google and search Spectrum Physio Bangalore, you'll see they have at least 10 clinics. Recently, someone told me he has 13. Now, how many of you realize today, Dr. Dhananjay is not thinking about how many patients are walking in. He's thinking about how many franchisees are we building? How many corporate organizations are we partnering with? He's neutralized competition as a concept because he's changed the orbit of his game. If this is giving you some ideas, type out ideas in the chat box. Sometimes it's not about chasing the same customer and grappling with the competitor on pricing. Sometimes it's about raising your game and changing your orbit and saying, okay, I'm in B2B, can I explore B2C? Or I'm in B2C, can I explore B2B? Or I'm in B2CH, can I explore B2C or B2B? So one way of dealing with competition is to explore an alternate customer focus along with what you're already doing. If you think this is a powerful strategy, type out powerful in the chat box, everybody. Awesome. Thank you so much. Next. Let me give you the second strategy to deal with competition. So the first one was to alter your customer focus. The second one is to alter your product or service focus. The second one is to alter your product or service focus. Okay. Yes, absolutely, Rani. Change your orbit. Change your orbit. Someone is coming and fighting with you for the site that you've bought, for the plot that you've bought. Don't fight with them for the plot. You buy the layout. That's what I'm saying. You become the landlord. Change your orbit. Okay. Now, product or service focus. That's one thing. That's another way to deal with competition. Now, when I talk about product or service focus, just make a note of these three words. Right? Primary, premium. Write these three words. Penetrator, primary, and premium. Penetrator, primary, and premium. Once you're done writing those three words, type out done. And then I'll elaborate on what I mean by product or service focus alteration. Okay. Now let me explain this to all of you through an example. Let me explain this to all of you through an example. So one of my clients, his name is Sudhin, and Sudhin is an interior designer. Now his primary core service is interior design. He does interiors for residential homes, for commercial offices. And he said, Rajiv, too much competition in the market today, Rajiv. There are so many interior designers. The customer does not know how to choose the right interior designer. The customer just gets swayed away from any and everything. So it's too challenging a market. Okay. I said, fair. Okay. I said, fair enough, Sudhin. It is a challenging market. I totally agree. That interior design is not a very easy space. Okay. Now here's what he did. Sudhin invested in a home decor store. He invested in a home decor store. Now, why did he invest in a home decor store? So he basically got a retail space. He partnered with another friend of his and they started selling home decor items. Okay. Beautiful vases, beautiful showpieces and decor items. Now he opened that retail business. And I'll tell you why he opened a retail business as a secondary. He said, Rajiv, my reason for opening this retail business and investing with a partner for doing this business is because this is my penetration strategy. Because how many of you agree? A retail store will have way more footfall than the number of inquiries an independent interior designer would get through Just Dial or Google or through his website or through word of mouth referrals. If you agree, I would agree. Now he opened a retail store, okay, which was his penetrator strategy, where there's higher footfall, where he's building a good client base. And then to that client base, can they remarket and position saying, apart from a retail store, we also have an interior design company that provides interior design services. So if you're buying a new home or a new office, you can connect with us. And does the customer also see that as a higher credibility? If they love that retail store, if they love the collection of that retail store, the ambience of that retail store, the service of that retail store, does that also subscribe a lot more trust for that customer to even upgrade and approach them when they have a requirement for doing a renovation or interiors for their new home? Yes or no? It absolutely does. So ask yourself, okay, sometimes having a penetrating product or service is a great way of catching your customer earlier than your competitor will catch them. I can give you some crazy examples for this. Would you like some crazy examples? Would you like some crazy examples? One of my clients from Chennai, Prem, he's into residential contracting. Okay, residential contractor. Basically, if someone buys a site and they want to construct a home, he would be a contractor who would take care of end to end and construct the home. Now, residential contracting is his primary service. That's his primary job. You know what Prem did? Prem learned Vastu, Feng Shui. Okay, he learned Vastu, he learned Feng Shui, and he learned numerology. You want to know why? Watch. He learned Vastu, Feng Shui, numerology. He started marketing that. Now, how many of you agree? Before a person constructs a home or even buys a plot, they reach out to a Vastu person and say, come and tell me if this property is a good property to buy. Yes or no? So what is Prem doing? He's penetrating at an earlier stage. He's penetrating at an earlier stage because people are asking in their circles, do you know any Vastu person? And people are saying, I know this person called Prem. He does good Vastu and he does Feng Shui also. We're like, okay, connect me to him. Prem goes on site. He gives them a proper reading, does a proper diagnosis based on Vastu principles, Feng Shui principles. And then Prem also says, also, by the way, Vastu and Feng Shui is passion. My real profession is I run a residential contracting firm. This is my card. So if you want to construct the home, reach out to me because many contractors don't have understanding of Vastu and Feng Shui. So we do Vastu based and Feng Shui based construction. Deal closed. Deal closed before even they go out to the market and search for, give us 5 options of residential contractors. Ask yourself, what can be your penetration strategy or your penetration product or service? Is this making sense? I don't know if you're getting any ideas or you're at least getting direction to think, saying that I need to think in this direction. Right? So I want you to understand this. Create a penetrator. On top of the penetrator, you have your primary product or service, what you are already known for. That's your primary product or service. Now, imagine you have a penetrator plus you have a primary product or service. How many of you agree? Just by having a penetrator, you are 10 steps ahead of your competitor. Yes or no? Right. So create a penetrator. And on top of that penetrator, offer your primary product or service. It's a game changer if you do that. It's a total game changer if you do that. And then beyond your primary product or service, you could also offer a premium product or service for which your customer is willing to pay a premium. Some high value customized services or some high value customized products that could be premium. Then it doesn't matter what your competitor is doing because you're a bulletproof business because you have a penetrator, you have a primary product or service, and you have a premium product or service. Like I'll give you an example. One of my clients is a testing equipment manufacturing company. That's their primary product. They sell testing equipment to measure force, torque, and pressure to other manufacturing businesses. Now, as a penetrator, they started trading in toolboxes. So they manufacture testing equipment, but they trade toolboxes. Now they're trading toolboxes and they're entering different manufacturing facilities by selling toolboxes. That's a low value product. It's a penetrator. And then they're building a relationship with the client, and then they're selling the primary product, which is testing equipment worth 10 lakh rupees, 12 lakh rupees. And then beyond that, they're taking up job works of customized engineering. They take up job works of customized engineering of 50 lakhs, 1 crore, 2 crores, which is a premium customized engineering products or services. So penetrator is the toolboxes. Testing equipment is the primary product or service. Job works for customized engineering is premium. How many of you realize when you have an ecosystem of products or services within your business, who competition, what competition? Yes or no? You need to build an ecosystem. You need to build an ecosystem of products or services, something that your customers need. So that's the second strategy of dealing with competition. How many of you think this is a game changer? If you think this is a game changer, type out game changer. I have seen businesses and helped businesses do this, and they become immune to competition because they're like, who cares? Right? Awesome. Next one. Next strategy or next way of dealing with competition is called positioning focus. Everybody write that down. So I've given you two strategies so far. Customer focus. Second is product or service focus. Next is positioning focus. Once you're done writing positioning focus, please make a note of these four and then I'll explain it. Okay. So write product centric and next to that write most innovative or advanced. Write cost centric. Next to that write most affordable or cheapest. Then write customer centric, write customized for customer segments, and write sales centric where you say write volume game and one stop shop. Write these 4 points and type out done. Once you're done writing, then I'll elaborate this with examples. Write all the 4 points. Product centric, cost centric, customer centric, sales centric. Next to product centric, write most innovative or advanced. Okay. Ishrat says took a picture. Ishrat, write. Writing is the best form of learning. That's when you internalize. So please write. Done, everybody? Can I elaborate on this? See, the first two strategies, customer focus and product focus or service focus, is about you adding a new dimension to your business. It's about you adding a new dimension to your business. Either you are focusing on an alternate customer segment or you adding an alternate product or service to your existing products or services. But here, when I talk about positioning focus, it's really about you building your unique value proposition. What is a unique value proposition? A unique value proposition is a value that you can bring to the customer, which is distinct from all the other market alternatives. Basically, what's your core differentiator? Now, this is where you need to introspect as a business and ask yourself, who are you? Are you a product-centric business? Now, what do I mean by product-centric business? You could be a services business also and be a product-centric business. What I mean by this is, are you offering the most innovative or the most advanced product or service in your industry? Because if you are offering the most innovative or the most advanced product or service in your industry, then you can go position yourself in the market and do repeated marketing and brand building around, we are the most innovative, we are the most advanced, we are the most innovative, we are the most advanced. And there will be a target segment of customers who want the most innovative, who want the most advanced, who become your customers. So product centric means becoming the most innovative and advanced in your industry. Cost centric means becoming the most affordable and cheapest in your industry. So are you able to see the difference between these two? One is most innovative and advanced. It's more superior in product or service. One is most cheapest and most affordable. How many of you agree? Both make money. Both make money. Yes or no? I'll give you an example. I had a garment manufacturer as a client. And they manufacture denim jeans. Okay, they manufacture denim jeans. I'll give you multiple examples. Don't worry. So this client of mine who manufactures denim jeans, His biggest achievement before he met me, and when he met me, this is what he said: Rajiv, our jeans quality is so good that across Gujarat, in retail stores, my brand is on the same shelf as Levi's and Wrangler. My brand is on the same shelf as Levi's and Wrangler jeans, Rajiv. I asked him, do you make money? Suddenly the pride turned into said, our problem, no, Rajiv, is that we have to keep pushing the retailer to stock our product, and they take the product on credit. Payment is delayed very badly, and the sales volumes are also not that great. Okay, sales volumes are also not that great. And I said, okay, fair enough. Do you know why? He said, I don't know. So here's what I told him. I said, if your jeans is sitting on the same rack as Levi's and Wrangler, which is an established brand, look at consumer psychology. A customer who walks into a store where they are selling Levi's, Wrangler, and a third-party brand which nobody's ever heard about, even if the third-party brand is 500, 600, 700 rupees lesser, for that particular customer, which product attracts them more? Type out for me, everybody. You are going into a store to buy jeans. You are seeing Levi's, you are seeing Wrangler, you are seeing a third-party brand that you've never seen about. Fabric looks great. It's 800 rupees lesser. Levi's is 4,200. This jeans is 3,400. You know what you'll do? You will buy the brand. You will buy that brand because you're like, Baba, I know this brand. Now, Levi's is making money because they build a brand as the most advanced fabric in jeans. They are making money. This person's not making money. Okay, now watch. There is another local brand of jeans. It's not called Levi's. It's called Louis. It's manufactured in some factory in Tripur. They sell jeans for 600 rupees. They sell jeans for 600 rupees, 400 rupees, 399 rupees, 350 rupees. In tier 2 towns, in rural areas is their distribution. Now question. Levi's is making money because they're product centric, most advanced. Louis is making money. They're selling jeans for 399 rupees. This garment manufacturer client of mine who's so proud of his quality of product, he's not making money. Do you want to know why? Because there's no clear positioning. Neither is he product centric nor is he cost centric. He's beach mein. He's in between. How many of you agree? There's a clear market for the most innovative, most advanced, and there's a clear market for the most cheapest and the most affordable. Both make money, yes or no? Both make money. Most businesses haven't designed their unique value positioning. I'll give you another example for this to become more easier. MacBook, laptops, MacBook. Where would you place them? Product centric, cost centric, customer centric, sales centric. Where would you place MacBook, Apple laptops? It's product centric, most advanced, lightest, innovative, fast processor. Okay, slide LED taskbar, right? So Apple is making money. Now let's take, okay, watch this. Let's take Asus as a brand, Acer as a brand. They come under the cost-centric segment, saying Asus laptops are the cheapest, Acer laptops are the cheapest. Are they making money as well? Yes. They have a different segment. Now, let me explain customer-centric to you through an example. What I mean by customer-centric, see, product-centric, all of you understood. Most innovative, most advanced. Cost-centric, very straightforward. Cheapest, affordable, most affordable. Customer-centric means You have customized solutions for different customer segments. I'll give you an example. Say, for example, Dell. Dell has laptops for working professionals, laptops for software developers and coders, laptops for DJs, laptops for gamers, laptops for students. Now, are you seeing they've segmented their product line saying these are a range of laptops for working professionals, these are range of laptops for coders, these are range of laptops for gamers, these are range of laptops for DJs, these are range of laptops for graphic designers, these are range of laptops for students, and they let you build your own laptops based on your profile. So how many of you see Dell is a customer centric brand in the space? Acer and Asus is a cost centric brand. Apple is a product centric brand, and all of them make money because they have a distinct positioning. Yes or no? All make money because they have a distinct positioning, right? Which brings us to the fourth positioning, which is sales centric. Okay, which is sales centric. Now, sales centric means what? You're a one-stop shop. You're playing a volume game. Now watch. Say, for example, Tata Chroma. They are sales centric. They have all the laptops. You want Apple is there, you want Acer is there, Asus is there, Lenovo is there, HP is there, Dell is there, Sony is there. So they are sales centric. They're saying we are a one-stop shop. Now, the reason I'm teaching you this is because what I want all of you to understand is this. All these four make money. All four make money. You want to know who doesn't make money? Ask me who. Ask me who. Product-centric businesses make money. Cost-centric businesses make money. Customer-centric business make money. Sales-centric business make money. You know who doesn't make money? A business or a brand that does not have a clear identity in terms of which one are they. A business or a brand that does not have a clear identity of which one are they don't make money. Because when you have positioning which is clear, you attract a specific segment. An Apple customer will never buy a Dell laptop or an Asus laptop or an Acer laptop. And vice versa. A Asus guy will never buy an Apple or a Dell. How many of you realize when you have clarity of positioning, you eliminate competition? If you agree, type out agree. You eliminate competition. Like a Maruti is would be a cost centric. A Mercedes would be a product centric. A Tata would be a customer centric. Right? So they have clear audiences. You won't see a Maruti customer going to a Mercedes showroom and say, mileage kitna? A Mercedes customer doesn't even ask that question of mileage kitna. Because there's clear positioning. You're not buying that car for mileage. You're buying that car for luxury, brand value, safety, speed, XYZ. But in a Maruti showroom, the conversation is around mileage, maintenance, okay, how long, durability of the product, service, warranty, all of those points. I really need you to peep within and ask yourself, do you have a clear positioning for your business? Because if you don't, it's time to start choosing one of these four and building in that direction. How many of you agree that choosing one of these four and building in that direction will be beneficial to your business? Yes or no? So choose one and build in that direction. If you feel your strength is the technological know-how of your industry, your domain expertise, build a product-centric business positioning. Build the most innovative and advanced product in your industry. If you feel your strength is to reduce operational costs and offer a product or service at the cheapest cost possible, then please go ahead and build a cost-centric business. If you feel you have clear customer segmentation, and I'll tell you something, this third one, no, customer-centric, this is the most tricky one. I have a joke. I'm going to crack that joke. Businesses that are neither product centric nor cost centric tend to say we are customer centric. आप कुछ भी बोल दो हम बना लेंगे. आप कुछ भी बोल दो हम बना लेंगे is not customer centric. You need to have segment based solution, and you need to commoditize the segment based solution also. Is this making sense? You need to commoditize the segment based solution also. So that is true customer centric. Otherwise, your operational effort in every project is so high, it's painful. Or you become a one-stop shop. You become an aggregator in your industry. You build a sales-centric model. So how many of you are thinking in directions and you're thinking, this is a good direction to put effort in right now? If you feel any of this is a good direction to put effort in right now, and construct your business model, your operations model around this direction, and position yourself in a manner where you eliminate competition, type out useful in the chat box. Kumaran says, if I'm having a cheaper product and also a more innovative product, then look at which audience will resonate with it most and target from that as a primary positioning. So choose your primary positioning between the two. Okay. Now, the same thing is relevant even in a services business. It's not very different even for a services business. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, okay, I've shared with you customer focus, product focus, positioning focus. Do you need to make changes in all three that I've shared with you so far? No, one change is good enough. Yes or no? So don't try to say, oh, but this strategy doesn't work for my business. Doesn't work for your business, leave it. There are 7 ways of dealing with competition. Even if one works, it works, right? So are you ready to learn the 4th strategy? If you're ready, type out ready in the chat box. Come on, move your fingers on the keyboard. Some of you are watching this like a Netflix show. Awesome. Next one is marketing focus. Another effective way of dealing with competition is to focus on marketing. So I've given you some strategic changes in terms of customer focus, in terms of product or service focus, in terms of your positioning focus. Now let's talk marketing. Now, when it comes to marketing, there are 3 approaches to marketing. There's a reactive approach, there's a proactive approach, and then there's a creative approach to marketing. Now, what is a reactive approach? A reactive approach is where you don't put any effort in marketing. You just depend on word of mouth referrals. You just wait for leads to come to you. There's no effort in that kind of an approach. You are reactive. You wake up and sell only when there's a word of mouth referral coming to you. Now, obviously, if you're a reactive marketer, or if your business is reactive in marketing, then competition always gets ahead of you. So consider this. Reactive approach to marketing runs on law of karma. If your karma is good, you get good inquiries. If your karma is bad, chalo Shirdi, chalo Tirupati. That's what happens. Do not build a business being reactive in marketing. The bare minimum you need to do in marketing is to be proactive. Now, what is being proactive? Being proactive means you're putting conscious effort in marketing. You're not just waiting for leads to come to you. You're putting conscious effort in marketing. And in this approach, at least the customer knows that you exist. They may buy from you, may not buy from you, but they at least know that you exist because you're proactive. Now, how do you become proactive in marketing? You become proactive in marketing by using some hygienic marketing strategies. You use hygienic marketing strategies like social media marketing, email marketing, WhatsApp marketing, search engine optimization, listing on search engines, joining business referral networking organizations, participating in exhibitions and expos, right? These are hygienic. Social media marketing, email marketing, WhatsApp marketing, listing on search engines, doing search engine optimization for your business, joining business referral networking organizations, participating in exhibitions or expos. This is where you're being proactive to make sure people are seeing you. And if they find a product or service relevant, they inquire from you. Now, how many of you agree? A business which is proactive will any day beat a business which is reactive. If you agree, I would agree. A business which is proactive in marketing will any day beat. See, even if the business which is reactive has a better product, that's what you need to understand today. Even if a business which is reactive has a better product, and the proactive business has a lesser quality of product, the proactive business will do better. They will grow more. And the reason I'm highlighting this point is that a lot of businesses have what I call product and service arrogance. You know what is product and service arrogance? Product and service arrogance is, my product is great, my service is great, why should we market? People will themselves come and buy. Bhai, tu hai kaun? Today, the biggest brands in the world have to market themselves. Who are you? Who am I? We are nobodies. Businesses with product or service arrogance remain reactive, and then they wonder why are customers not coming to them, even though they have such a great product. They act like victims. They love the victim mindset. Market khatam ho gaya hai, Rajiv. Ek time tha. We used to say no to orders. Today we are saying no orders. Bhai, market khatam nahi hui hai. Tum khatam ho gaye ho. Because you are reactive. You're waiting for business to come to you. The world has changed. Today, movie stars go door to door marketing and saying, come watch my movie. They go dance in malls for free to showcase that, hey, listen, my new movie is coming. Come, let's dance on Bhool Bhulaiya. Movie stars are marketing. Ladies and gentlemen, reactive is a dead approach. Competition kills you in such an approach. Proactive makes you competitive, which means what? You are doing email marketing, social media marketing. You are participating in exhibitions and expos. You are doing WhatsApp nurturing. You are joining business referral networking organizations. Now you are proactive. Even your competitors doing the same thing. So how many of you agree? Proactive are strategies which even your competitor is doing. But both of you are making yourself visible to the customer. At least you're giving each other a fight. At least you're giving each other a fight in proactive. Then comes the third approach, which is called creative. The third approach is called creative. Now, in a creative approach of marketing, you are creating a subconscious impact on your customer's mind. You're creating a subconscious impact in your customer's mind where you are creating a desire that if they buy the product or service, they want to buy from you. That's a creative approach. If they want to buy a product or service, they think, I want to buy from them. I'll give you an example. Give me a moment. I'll give you an example. I'll give you some more characteristics of creative marketing. Then I'll give you an example. Watch this. Okay. And the other thing about creative marketing is this. See, in proactive, your customers know that you exist. They may buy from you, may not buy from you. That's what happens in proactive. They know that you exist because you're proactive in marketing. They know that you exist. They may buy from you, may not buy from you. Now in creative marketing, the customer knows that you exist and they want to buy from you. They want to buy from you. They're like, I want to be his client. I want to buy that product. Look at what Apple has done as a brand. People stand in the queue at 3 a.m. in the night for the launch of the new phone to be one of the first customers to get their hand. I mean, it looks insane, but people do it because that's creative. In creative, you use magnetic marketing strategies. In proactive, you use hygienic strategies like social media, like search engine optimization, like email marketing, WhatsApp marketing, joining business referral networking organizations, or participating in an exhibition on an expo. That's hygienic. That's what proactive marketers do. Creative marketers use magnetic marketing strategies. Would you like an example? Would you like an example? Yes. One of my clients, he's a manufacturer in aluminum die casting based out of Faridabad. His name is Rahat. Rahat created a community called Alucast, Aluminium Casters Association of India. And he built a community called Alucast for educating die casters on the best practices on die casting, for bringing together policy makers, researchers in the space. Now, he's someone who's built that community called Alucast. He's the chairman of that community. How many of you realize when customers, policy makers, even competitors join that community, they look at Rahat as a legend? Yes or no? They look at Rahat like a legend because he's built a community. He's creative. He's not just participating in an exhibition or expo or doing some social media. He's saying, let's build a community called Alucast. So community marketing is a creative strategy. Okay. I had a real estate developer based out of Chennai, Motish Kumar, founder of Stepstone Promoters. Motish, as a real estate developer, as a mid-segment real estate developer who sells affordable homes and flats and plotted lands, he authored a book. He authored a book titled Reality of Real Estate. Now, how many of you notice when Motish authors a book about reality of real estate and he markets that book and people buy that book, they look at Motish as the real estate expert? Yes or no? He's not a big brand, but today he's giving a lot of big brands in Chennai sleepless nights because his trust factor is higher. This is making sense. That's creative marketing. Writing a book, starting a community, educating people. It's creative marketing. Today, how many doctors have you seen create YouTube channels and educate through YouTube? That's creative marketing. Lawyers are doing that. Chartered accountants are doing that. Interior designers are doing that. Education is a creative marketing strategy. This is making sense. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're reactive, competition kills you. If you're proactive in marketing, you give the competition a good run for their money. You become competitive. And if you're creative in marketing, you become Wallah Habibi in your brand. You know what is Wallah Habibi? You are at a space that nobody can touch you. Wallah Habibi. That's what you become. Making sense, everyone? Yes. So far we've shared with you 4 ways of dealing with competition: altering your customer focus, altering your product or service focus, getting clear about your positioning focus, enhancing your marketing focus. Now let's go to the 5th one. The 5th one is to enhance your sales focus. Now, under sales focus, please write down direct, digital, distributor, dealer, or franchise network. Write this 3 down, then I'll elaborate on this. Direct, digital, distributor, dealer, or franchise network. Write these 3 down. So, ladies and gentlemen, consider this. Okay. Most businesses have a very single channel selling philosophy. What do I mean by single channel selling philosophy? Majority businesses are just doing direct selling, where the business owner or the sales team are pitching to B2B or B2C customers. So what is direct? Direct is when you as a business are selling to the customer. Okay. Now that is direct selling, where your team or you yourself are going out there and pitching your product or service to your B2B customers or your B2C customers. So that's direct. The next layer is to add a digital layer of selling. Now today in digital sales, you have so many options. Okay, you have so many options in digital sales. One, you can build your own e-commerce website and direct traffic to that and sell online without any geographical limitation. 2, apart from your own e-commerce website, you can become a reseller on other marketplaces. You can become a seller on other marketplaces. 3, you can sell directly through social media ads. Where on if you are selling a low value product or service, you can sell directly on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Instagram. Or 4, You can partner with influencers on social media who can sell your product or service on behalf of you, provided their audience is relevant to your product or service. So now think about it. If you're only doing direct selling and you're not leveraging digital, automatically you're lowering your competitive advantage. See, I meet so many people, retail businesses. They say, Rajiv, retail mar gaya hai. I said, retail nahi mara. You have a physical presence advantage. You need to now adapt, have your own e-commerce website, also resell on marketplaces, also use influencers to promote. Leverage, na? Leverage. Don't just depend on the audience that lives in the 2-kilometer, 3-kilometer radius of your store. Today, the world is your marketplace. So direct is one layer, digital is another layer. And for different businesses, different digital strategies are relevant. For some of you, it may be directly selling on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Some of you, it would be to set up your own e-commerce shop. For some of you, it may be use influencers to sell your products or services. For some of you, it may be to sell on other marketplaces, on other e-commerce platforms. So that's digital. That's another layer. Another layer on top of digital is where you don't physically expand and set up offices in different geographies. You either create a distributor, dealer, wholesaler, retailer network, or you go out there and create franchisees of your business who operate under your brand name and they procure the product or the service only through you. Now, the key is this, ladies and gentlemen, for you to deal with competition. Please remember this. Today, the bigger your reach, the bigger your business. So for you to deal with competition, the more of these channels you can optimize, the more ahead you are of your competitor. If you agree, type out agree. I call this becoming omnipresent. I call this becoming omnipresent. We use the word omnipresent. Omnipresent ka matlab kya hai? Available everywhere. Present everywhere. Right? Now we use the word omnipresent for God. Saying God is omnipresent, present everywhere. I'm saying make your goods and services omnipresent. Be present everywhere. Do direct, do digital, and do distributor, dealer, or franchise network selling. So you're present everywhere. Because here's the rule in business. Listen to this rule carefully. Please write this down. I'm going to dictate a statement. Please write this down. In business, best known and most found beats the best. Best known and most found beats the best. In business, best known and most found beats the best. Which means what? Someone may have the best product or service, but if you're better known than them and you're more found than them, your business will be any day ahead of them. It's the bitter truth. You may call it unfair, but that's the way the world works. And please think about it. When you do marketing proactively and creatively, you're best known. So marketing takes care of your ability to be known. Sales takes care of your ability to be found. So you're easily available, accessible, and buyable. So when you do marketing and sales proactively, you're best known, you're most found, you will beat the best. Is this making sense? How many of you are getting some action steps to work on where you feel there are some radical changes we need to make? We are playing too small. We are playing too safe. We are in our own comfort zone, in our own bubble. We need to expand that today. You need to expand that. Be it your customer focus, your product focus, your positioning focus, your marketing focus, your sales focus. You take one of these ideas and you run with it. You can build competition-proof businesses. Which brings me to the next aspect of dealing with competition. Please write this down. The next one is performance focus. So far, I've given you strategic changes to make in terms of customer focus, product focus, and positioning focus. I've given you functional changes to make in terms of marketing focus and sales focus. Now let's look within. Now let's look within the business which is performance focus. Okay, watch this. What do I mean by performance focus? If you want to enhance the performance of your business, you need to take care of three things. One is clarity of goals, clarity of systems, clarity of roles. How many of you agree? A business that has clear goals, clear systems in every department, and clear roles for all team members will any day beat another business which does not have clear goals, clear systems, and clear roles. So internal clarity becomes your competitive advantage. Internal clarity becomes your big competitive advantage, where you're like, okay, look, our clarity is so good, where we have clear goals, clear systems in every department, clear roles for all team members, because of which our performance is amazing. And if our performance is great, it doesn't matter what the competitor is doing. So clarity is one ingredient to enhance performance. Capability is the second ingredient to enhance performance. What capability do you need to enhance? You need to enhance the capability of your product and service. You need to enhance the capability of your business model, and you need to enhance the capability of building teams. So you need to offer a great product or service. You need to have a good, profitable, scalable business model, and you need to have capable teams. How many of you agree? If you get these three capabilities right, you become an unstoppable force. If you agree, I would agree. You offer a superior product or service. You design a business model which is designed for scale and profitability, and you build competent teams. That internal capability is your game changer. So these are performance metrics within your business that you can take care of. Marketing, sales is all putting effort outside. This is putting effort inside. Enhance clarity, enhance capability, and enhance culture of your workplace. Build a win-win-win workplace where customer has to win, team member has to win, owner also has to win. Build a win-win-win workplace where results and relationships both are taken care of. I'm not asking you to be authoritative, dictatorial, or exploitative and only demand result from your team. You will fail if you do that. Neither am I asking you to be soft, easy, and very non-confrontational and just say, oh, we are like a family. Let's all have a good time. No. Balance result and relationship. Create a win-win-win culture, saying customer has to win. Customer has to get value for money. Team members also have to win. They need to get financial growth, career growth, good quality life. And business owner has to win. Business owner should get financial growth, brand growth, and time freedom so that business owner can focus on more growth. How many of you agree? If you enhance these three parameters of clarity, capability, and culture, you will build a performance differentiator in the market and beat the performance of any of your competitors. Yes or no? So it's not just about customer focus, product focus, positioning focus, marketing focus, sales focus. It's also about the internal strength. Rani says tough, but yes. Let me tell you something, Rani. There's nothing called easy success. You know what's more tough than building these three things? What's more tough than building these three things is to not have these three things. That's more tough. Imagine running a business with no clarity of goals, systems, and roles, running a business with no capability in product and business model and in building teams, and running a business with no proper culture. That's way more tough. That's torture, right? So I really want you to internalize these three C's and say, this is internal work. This is back end. This is strength building. And when you build strength, you have strong foundation. Automatically, your competitive advantage is your business, your team, your systems, your strategies. Is this making sense, everyone? This is another dimension from which you can beat competition, especially in services businesses, especially in skill-driven businesses. This is a very important dimension. You strengthen clarity, capability, culture, you're way ahead. You're way ahead. Vijay Kumar, for scaling, you focus on product, customer focus, marketing, sales. You're going to be way ahead there. It brings me to the seventh way of dealing with competition. Everybody write down, technology focus. Seventh way of dealing with competition, technology focus. And you put this graph with 4 quadrants and write this down. Technology for cost reduction, technology for turnaround time acceleration, technology for improved customer satisfaction, and technology for reduced manual dependency. Write these 4 quadrants down in your notebook, and then I'll elaborate on them. Now, I have a question before I explain this. How many of you, as an MSME, sometimes get this feeling that we don't understand technology enough, and if we understand technology better, then we can become more efficient? How many of you sometimes get this feeling, like this FOMO around technology, fear of missing out? Like you feel a little backward when it comes to technology, or you feel tech illiterate. Like you feel like you don't have the literacy of technology. If we had literacy of technology, what all we could have done. So I want to give you a perspective that will give you a lot of inner peace, because I can understand that as an MSME, the word technology can trigger emotions that makes us feel like we are not good enough. Okay. And this is where I'd like to highlight what Tejas Goenka, the CEO of Tally Solutions, said beautifully in the curtain raiser episode with ET Now for Mera business, Meri, Pehchaan. He said something beautiful. He said that MSMEs are actually way more adaptive. They are way more proactive as long as the technology is actually useful. How many of you agree to that statement? If you find something useful, you'll adapt it. But you won't fantasize around technology just because it's technology. And this is sometimes the flaw I see in a lot of startups, because I work with MSMEs as well as I work with startups. And you know, the flaw I see, sometimes these startups, which are tech startups, their fantasy with technology is so high that something that can be done easily with a simpler method, they want to build an app for it. I have seen startups to engage customers, design apps, and they get all their customers to download those apps. But the customer has the app downloaded, the customer never opens the app. And I've seen MSMEs that engage customers on WhatsApp groups, because everybody opens WhatsApp. How many of you agree using WhatsApp is also using technology? Yes or no? Who said you have to have your own bespoke app? So, ladies and gentlemen, firstly, trust yourself. Firstly, trust yourself. Stop looking down on yourself as though there is a flaw in your abilities. You don't have any flaw in your abilities. Okay. I played a consulting role with one of India's premier banks. Okay. I won't name the bank, but I'll share one experience with you. So there are bank branches across the country. And the CEO once very proudly was showing me around their head office. And he said, Rajiv, come, let me show you something. And they had like this massive screen and a map of India and the location points of where their branches are and all of those things. And he said, you know what, Rajiv, here we have developed a technology. We have an IT team that created a technology that by 7 p.m. across the country, if the signboard of the bank, if the tube light of the signboard of the bank is not switched off, we get a notification here. And then someone from here calls that particular local branch manager, who then calls the local security guard and switches off the tube light of the light bulb post 7 p.m. because what's the point of wasting electricity? And he said, it's taken us a team of 35 people who've developed this technology. Okay. Now, while he was explaining this to me, I'm like, okay, you hired 35 engineers to build a technology. You set up a server system to track whether tube light is on across all the bank branches across the country. This 35-member team has a project manager. That project manager reports into a technology, a tech vice president who you hired for this technology. And in my head, I'm thinking, MSMEs are efficient. बिकॉज हमको लाइट ऑफ करना होता है तो हम फोन पे रिमाइंडर रख के वॉचमैन को फोन करके बोलते हैं लाइट ऑफ है कि नहीं. So sometimes technology is like a maze only to boost people's egos. Is this making sense? It's a maze only to boost people's egos. Now, the reason I'm highlighting this point is not because I'm not asking you to be tech savvy. All I'm saying is this is your criteria of choosing technology. So would you like criteria of choosing technology so that you at least have the ability to make the right decisions around technology in your business? Would you like criteria? Here are your 4 criteria. Firstly, every time you come across a technology, check, will it help me reduce my cost? If yes, consider it. If no, eliminate it. Or will it help me reduce the turnaround time and increase the acceleration, the speed at which we can give the solution? Can that technology enable an enhancing speed? If yes, consider it. If no, eliminate it. Or will it help me enhance my customer satisfaction? If yes, consider it. If no, eliminate it. Or will it help me reduce manual dependency? Because sometimes I've seen technology increases manual dependency because you need people to manage the technology then. If yes, consider it. If it's increasing manual dependency, reject it. How many of you think these are 4 common sense but very, very powerful criteria to choose and evaluate any technology for your business? If you agreed about yes in the chat box. So ladies and gentlemen, just stick to these 4 principles. Be an explorer. Be an explorer. Take demos. Take trials of different technologies. Be open. That's how you learn. Be open, and someone reaches out to you, say, we have a technology for this, technology for that. Meet them for learning, but decide based on these 4 criteria. And in fact, here's what I'll recommend. If any of you have that inferiority complex saying, I'm not a tech person, I'm not an engineer, therefore I don't understand technology, therefore my business may not be able to adapt, I'm going to put you on, can I give a 3-month exercise to do? Can I give a 3-month exercise to do? Would you be open to it? If you have those thought processes, I'm going to give you a 3-month exercise. For 3 months, meet as many technology vendors or technology service providers just for your learning. Meet as many technology vendors and service providers just for your learning. Don't purchase, just for your learning. After 3 months, when you actually evaluate all those technologies against these 4 criteria, here's what you'll realize. It's more noise than utility. It's more noise than utility. Shor zyada hai, kaam kam hai. You probably have better ways of doing things. And if you identify something that fits in any of these 4 criteria, then you're a tech savvy business. So put yourself in a 3-month technology expedition. Put yourself in a 3-month technology expedition. See, this is where I love Tally. You see the tagline, power of simplicity. Why is it power of simplicity? Because it's very simple to use, no? You want to enter inside, press enter. You want to exit, press escape. Right? No wonder they're still around and growing. Okay, Smriti says, now you are promoting. Itna to gratitude banta hai, Smriti. Free mein master class karwaya hai. Itna to gratitude banta hai. You should also go promote them. Power of but logically think about it, no? Enter means go inside, escape means come outside. Anybody can use it. Technology has to simplify your life. It cannot complicate your life. Is this making sense? Yes. Awesome. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's review the 7 ways of dealing with competition. First is customer focus expansion, B2B, B2C, B2CH. Second, product or service focus, where you create a penetrator or a primary or a premium product. Third is to make sure you create a clear positioning focus, either cost-centric or product-centric or service-centric or sales-centric. Or your marketing focus, reactive, proactive, creative. Or your sales focus, direct, digital, and distributor, dealer network or franchise network. Your performance focus in terms of enhancing your clarity, capability, and your culture. And your technology focus for cost reduction, turnaround time, acceleration, customer satisfaction, and reducing manual dependency. How many of you learned a lot today? If you learned a lot today, type out me in the chat box. Awesome. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Now, can I give you an important tip? Can I give you a very, very important tip? Yes. Here's my important tip. Here's the golden rule. One change can change your life. You don't have to make changes in all the 7 areas. One change can change your life. And change it one change at a time. If you feel that is doable, actionable, practical, type out yes in the chat box. Start with one step at a time. Okay. Right. Awesome. Now, question. How many of you would like to receive the sketch notes of today's session? My team has designed some PDF documents with the summary points of all the things that I've shared with all of you. Would you like to receive those sketch notes? Okay, great. So I'm going to give you access to how you can get those sketch notes. So I'm going to put a link in the chat box, https://bit.ly cmmw-rt. Just give me a moment. Here it comes, all of you. Please do click on this link right now. We are not yet done. We also have something more interesting coming up. So please do click on this link right now. You can enter your name and your details there. And within the next 7 minutes, a PDF document will be emailed to all of you. So do it right now. Once you're done, type out done. So click on that link that we put in the chat box and enter the details. And once you do that, type out done in the chat box. https://bit.ly cmmw-rt. Okay, awesome. Yeah, waiting for a few more duns. So within 7 minutes, you should receive this PDF. Just in case it goes into your spam and you miss it, then you can drop me a message on Instagram with your email ID saying, Rajiv, I've not yet received it. We'll make sure that my team sends it to all of you. Wonderful. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, here's what we are going to be doing. Before we come into your questions, I have a very, very, very special guest here with us who is an MSME business owner, just like all of you. And I have the honor and privilege of introducing her. And I was quite fascinated when I received her profile. So I want this person to be introduced to all of you just for the reason of the kind of inspiring work that she's doing. So ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure to introduce you to a guest speaker that we have here. Her name is Nisha Shrikant, and she's the founder of Shri Kolhapuri, which is a doll factory. Now, she started in the year 2016 with the intention to revive the oldest form of doll making using fabric and fiber. Now, this is a dying art. Now, what she's been able to do is she's given life to a dying art by taking the rich Indian culture and tradition to the entire world through our dolls. She's educated people about the form of doll making. She teaches women and children on doll making so that they can create self-sustaining opportunities of employment for themselves. She's given direct employment to 10 underprivileged women and indirect employment to 250 plus women. She's a graduate from IIM and a Six Sigma Black Belt holder with 15 years plus experience in quality management, project management training, and development in various IT industries. So, ladies and gentlemen, her passion has turned into her profession. She's built Shri Kolhapuri as a doll making factory. So, Nisha, a very warm welcome to you. Firstly, Nisha, I have a question. What inspired you to take this art of doll making to the world and turn it into a business?
Thank you so much, Rajiv, for the wonderful introduction. Something that lingers in everybody. I strongly believe that every human being possesses a unique skill, right?
Yeah.
At one point of time, somebody has to identify and nurture that skill.
Yes.
So even though it was a little late for me, I identified that skill. And by the time I realized, I also felt that it has to go to the entire world.
Yeah.
As you said, it is one of the dying forms of an art.
Yeah.
So that thought process, so this form of an art, what my grandmother and great grandmothers used to make at home, it is now vanishing.
Yeah.
That single thought that made me, oh my God, at least I should take it to the world.
Yeah.
I think that thought process helped me come into this business.
Wonderful, wonderful. So that spark of identifying your passion and then turning into a business. In the context of today's conversation that we are having around competition management, have you had any competition? How have you dealt with it? Or you're a one of a kind? Tell me a little bit more about that.
I actually sometimes feel bad I don't have competitors actually.
Yeah.
I actually feel there should be more competitors.
Yeah.
Because there are two reasons. as you said, I want to give as much of employment as possible and take this rich Indian culture and tradition to the entire world.
Yeah.
So when I started this as a business, there was no competition at all for me.
Yeah.
Hardly one or two. Then slowly I realized there are lots of ladies or women and also some men who are interested in doll making, and they are sitting at home and doing this.
Yeah.
So as you very well said in your class, right? How can we proactively do it? So we formed an association. I tried to meet all those people who are in corners of India. I learned a lot from them. I am trying my level best to bring as a forum or as an association where they also can be benefited.
Wonderful.
So, yes, Rajiv.
So this is for everybody watching. See, if you look at the space Nisha has built her businesses, firstly, it's a very, very niche, very, very unique space. But she's been proactive in going out there and identifying who are people who are doing similar work of doll making, built an association, coexisted with competition, exchanged best practices. And actually what they're doing, Nisha, would it be fair to say that coming together with your competitors in a niche and a premium segment like yours has helped expand the awareness about this market and has helped increase the reach of this product? Would that be fair to say?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. So now, for those of you who are in a very premium or a niche segment, this is a great learning that, when you innovate a new product or when you innovate a new service, sometimes being the only lone wolf in that industry can restrict the reach of the product and the demand of the product itself. But when you are able to identify your competitors, learn from each other, and actually create a space, create noise, saying, hey, here's doll making. Okay. Do you use dolls in your decoration items? Do you use dolls for home decor? Do you use dolls in your events and in your weddings? So you're creating different utility for a niche product here. So that's a great learning from Nisha. So Nisha, I have another question, and it's a very common question I'm sure you must be getting. You've taken a passion, turned it into a business. Okay. What have been some of the challenges of taking a passion, turning it into a business? And how have you countered those challenges?
Excellent question, and it was really tough for me to convince. Right, I was working in an IT organization, and it was a well-paid job for a middle-class housewife or a working woman.
Yeah.
So leaving that, and the entire family comes from a white-collar job background, and starting a business, the term business itself was like a bad word at home.
Taboo. So, it was a taboo word. Yeah.
Yes, thank you for the right word. Yeah. So convincing people that, hey, I will be able to succeed in this business, that was really difficult for me. And many people started saying, what will you get by selling a doll? Or what will you get by selling or making a doll? I said, I am not sure whether I will be able to make lakhs, what I was used to earn, but I'm sure that end of the day I will be happy. And I will try to transform few lives. That was my only intention. Yep. And convincing people at home that business is not a taboo, as you said. If we practice, and now there are lots of people like you, right? You are there to help people grow their business. You are teaching the right term. When I started, nobody was there. Everybody said, oh, don't do this business. Or people were not aware of what business I am into. So that was really challenging. But that confidence, right, that helped me to overcome all that, convincing people. First family members, and then the close friends, and then the office. And first thing is convince yourself that, hey, I'm doing the right thing, and I'm sure I will be able to succeed.
Awesome. So the first person you need to sell your idea to is yourself. And the moment you've sold that idea to yourself, then automatically that conviction gets passed on. And today is that family, considering it's been from 2016 to now, it's been a journey of 6 years. Today, how does the family view this decision?
Yes, there is a great improvement. How I used to get introduced during family weddings and occasions, I used to get introduced, hey, she's working as a project management. This is 3-letter word company, this is a big IT organization. And when I started business, there were no introduction. Oh. So she's doing some doll making business, and
she's taking a break. She's taking a break. Yeah.
That was really funny part in my life. And now everybody is really proud. my daughter-in-law, my wife, or my sister is a Guinness World Record holder.
Wow.
She is running a factory and she has received multiple awards. She has given employment to many. And she's training people. And from that introduction, it went down to the zero introduction level and now again back up. That's the phase of the life we are personally, as you said, we are able to overcome that. Do not take it, whatever that comes, right? Do not take it to the heart. Yes. Just focus on what you have to do.
Absolutely. It's an absolute pleasure talking to you, Nisha. I mean, what an inspiring journey. And I think everybody here can relate to that, right? Sometimes our near and dear ones, in the name of protecting us, they don't support us. They say, it can't happen, can't happen. And that's their way of protecting. That's their way of expressing protection, saying, don't risk yourself into doing all of these things. And I think the biggest joy for any business owner is to turn that protection of the family into pride. And you've been able to do that. So it's been absolutely inspiring having this conversation with you, Nisha. More power to you. Make sure, go out there and spread this beautiful art form of doll making to the world. And we all are always here to cheer you. So thank you so much, Nisha, for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, can we give a big round of applause for Nisha and say a big thank you to Nisha for inspiring us. So type out thank you, Nisha, in the chat box. Come on, everybody. Type out thank you, Nisha, in the chat box.
Thank you so much, Rajiv, and thank you to the entire participants.
Thank you, everybody. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of the masterclass of Mera Business, Meri Pehchaan, created by Tally Solutions, partnered with ET Now in association with me, Rajiv Talreja. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask personally, I'm happy to answer those questions. You can also stay connected with me. You can find me on my website, rajivtalreja.com, or on LinkedIn, or on YouTube. You can subscribe to my channel, or on Instagram. You can drop me a message and I respond within 48 to 72 hours. But I just want to say thank you to all of you. And if you found value today, can all of you put out a note of thank you to Tally and to ET Now? If you can, type out thank you, Tally, and thank you, ET Now. If you found value today, type out for me in the chat box. Because at the end of the day, when Tally Solutions came to me with this initiative, they said, Rajiv, we want to empower and equip MSMEs with solutions to problems that they face on a day-to-day basis. And that's what this initiative has been about. They have created this series called Mera Business, Meri Pehchaan, only to add value to MSMEs. So I want to say a big thank you to Tally. I want to say a big thank you to ET Now for taking up this initiative, taking up this cause of MSMEs, because in this noisy world today where all the glory goes to startups that raise funding, people sometimes forget that the real economy of this country is being built by micro, small, and medium enterprises. And it's organizations like Tally and ET Now that front end and champion the cause of small and medium enterprises. So I want to extend a big heartfelt thank you to all of them. And a big thank you to all of you for participating in today's session. Stay connected, stay blessed, and stay inspired. With that, I'm going to say goodbye and keep sharing how your journey unfolds with us. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much.